this is Jen, and thanks for joining me today on the Not Too Shabby YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be working with the February subscription paper pads. They are called Glow and Winged Beauties. Really beautiful paper pads. They each have ephemera cutouts in them. I thought I'd go ahead and create some cards using dies today. And so for the first card, I'm using the Winged Beauties paper pad, and I'm just taking two different size rectangle dies from my stash to create a frame for the first card. And then the negative space from that frame, I'm going to go ahead and flip that over to the other side and use that piece of pattern paper to cut out this die, which is kind of like a doily or a mandala die. This die actually has two parts, and so I'm going to go ahead and cut another piece out using the outline portion, and I'm using kind of this muted gold paper to do that. And then since the die is so detailed, I thought it was easier to use some artist tack, which is basically tiny little micro dots of adhesive that work really well for detailed or small elements. And so you just put that in between the two sheets and burnish it a little bit to get that adhesive onto the side that you want it. And then I'll adhere that to that outline piece. And then since that negative piece of paper that I cut this die out from wasn't big enough to create the entire die, there is a little bit that is left over that I'm going to have to cut off. So go ahead and trim that off. And I'm just going to stick this under the frame so that you can't see basically that is a missing part of the die. So I added a little bit of adhesive to the left side of that frame, and I'll go ahead and stick that on top of that other die piece. And since there are two pieces of paper, it kind of adds a slightly more depth than the frame does. And so to remedy that, I've gone ahead and grabbed some white strips of scratch paper and adhere those around the frame just to make sure that when I adhere it to my card panel that there's not too much of a difference in height. And so I chose to go ahead and use a teal colored card panel that kind of brings the color out from the teal in the pattern paper. And then I took one of those ephemera pieces that I've cut out, one of the butterflies, and adhere that. And then to add a little bit of detail, I am using some gold stickles. For the sentiment, I went ahead and I used a Tim Holtz sticker, and that's going to finish off the first card. For the second card, I am using the Glow paper pack, and I chose to use the star background. I'm making a birthday card for this one, and so I've grabbed a die that has a shadow and then a detail piece again, but this is a sentiment instead of the mandala piece. And so I've gone ahead and I've cut the pattern paper out with that shadow piece, and then I've grabbed some yellow paper and I will use that for the detail of the words. And this is one of those dies sets that comes with the words in several different pieces. I'm not sure why they do that unless it's just easier on a die like this because it's not totally straight across. But this comes in three different sections, and so I went ahead and I used the artist tack to glue those down. And then I took a second die and another piece of pattern paper from the Glow set, and I'm using that for kind of my backdrop. And then I'm taking more of that star paper and cutting a few strips to go onto the top and the bottom of this card panel. And I'm using a white card base for this one. I just think it brings out the colors and the pattern paper a little bit more. And so I'll go ahead and attach those two strips to the top and the bottom of this card panel, and then I'll start adhering the rest of my pieces. And this paper pad set is still available, so I'll go ahead and leave a link below if you want to catch this paper pad. I also wanted to let you know the end of the month is coming up, so the first of the month will be the hop for the box of the month, and I have to say it is another fabulous one. You're not going to want to miss it. It is super awesome. And so I hope you'll join us on the 1st to check that out. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my pieces. I used one of the ephemera pieces from this pack as well, that little cute little bee, and added another Tim Holtz sticker to the sentiment. So I just split it. It said make a wish, the sentiment, and I just split it to say make a birthday wish. So that's going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this video, I'd love a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the Not Too Shabby Shops YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to catch you next time.